Hi guys, my name is Kizziar and I'm here with my model Ava, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a summer glam look that's wearable for both day and night. So today we're going to be starting off with your brows. I always like to do that before we do foundation or anything. It really helps frame your face. So we're going to start off just at the inner corner of your eye. Here is going to be where you start your brow, and I like to just put a little dot there. And then we take from your nose just across the center of your eye, and that should be right about where your brow should arch. And then if we take from your nose just past the outer corner of your eye, and that dot will be right where they will end. And I'm just liking to take a very fine brow pencil here, and we're just going to connect our dots just on the bottom here. Make sure we're bringing our arch here and connecting all the dots. And then we're going to take just on the top of your brow a little bit in here and just follow across the top of your brow and fill in any areas where it's a little bit sparse to create our nice little arch shape here. And now that we've got our outline, I like to go in with the Anastasia Brow Definer, and we're just going to start in at the beginning of your brow and just do light little feathering strokes and bring it through the brow just to fill in everything and make sure you have a nice full well-defined brow. And once we get that, I'm just going to take the spoolie here and just kind of brush it through and make sure that all your brow hairs get coated and they're all laying like how we want them to. Right. Now that we've got the shape that we want, I like to go in with a little bit of a concealer, and I just take a little flat concealer brush and come right underneath the brow. We're just going to clean up any lines and kind of help to highlight and really define that brow. And then just kind of feather it down on your eye. And that will just help to give your brow a more lifted look and make you look ready for the day. Alright, and now that both brows are on, we're going to start with your base. And I always like to go in with a primer. Today we're going to go in with the Laura Mercier primer. It is oil-free and moisturizing, so it helps to kind of get your face all moisturized and ready for your foundation. Now I like to take the primer and just start at the bottom of your face and work in round little circular movements in upward movements. We never want to pull down because we never want to help gravity with pulling our face down and adding for wrinkles. This will help with anti-aging and just keeping you fresh and ready to go. And now that we've got our primer on, we're going to go in with just a cream foundation today and just a little round foundation packing brush. And I like to take and get just a good amount on the brush, and we're going to actually take and just kind of dab this into your skin. So help kind of mesh it in and give you a really flawless, almost airbrushed looking. And again, we always want to go in kind of upward movements and fight gravity's pull. And when we do this dabbing movement, it really just kind of pushes all of our foundation into the skin, so you don't have to put as much foundation on and still get that full coverage, flawless look. And then we are going to take a little bit of foundation here and just go down on the neck. This just makes sure that everything blends in so you look flawless today. Side here. Now that we've got the foundation laid on both sides of the face, we're going to go back in with the concealer that we used underneath your brow earlier, and the same little flat concealing brush. And we really want to highlight the center of your face and underneath your eyes, everything that we really want to bring forward and draw attention to. And then later we're going to go in and contour your face, and that will help to kind of define your cheekbones and make everything look more sculpted. So if you can just look up for me here. And again, we always want to be really careful underneath the eyes because this is an area where the skin is really sensitive. So we really want to do soft motions here, not too abrasive. And then of course the front of your forehead here, and just down the top of your nose, and then just the chin here. Like I said, all of the little center features of your face that we really want to bring forward. Right. And then I like to go in with just a clean little beauty sponge here, just one of those little triangles, and I'm just going to look up. And again, we really want to go in with light tapping motions. This will just help to really blend it in with the foundation, conceal any kind of dark circles or anything we'd have underneath the eyes, and then bring everything forward. So just little soft tapping motions. You can go kind of in a circular motion too, and this will help kind of blend it in with the foundation so we don't have any hard lines. And it just looks really flawless and airbrushed. Right. Now that we've got the concealer laid down, we're going to go in with Laura Mercier translucent powder and just a flat powder brush. We want to start with all of the areas that we highlighted just so we can keep from creasing. And we just want to lightly pack that in just to set everywhere that we just concealed. Just light packing motions. We don't want to put a ton of powder on there, just enough to really set everything that we just put down. And now that we have that done, we're going to go in with just a more fluffy powder brush here. Just take a little bit. We're going to go over and just in circular motions here, kind of blend it in with the rest of the skin to just set all of our foundation here. And this will kind of help with any kind of shine on there. It'll also keep from your foundation from sweating off throughout the day so that you can look good from morning till night. And then we'll make sure we go down on the neck here where we had that foundation. And we're just going to kind of go over those areas that we put down a little bit of extra powder to set our highlight. There we go. You're all set. And now that the face is all set, we're going to go in with NYX Powder Contour. We're just going to go in with a light little warm shade here on an angled contour brush. And we want to just really lightly start right at about the middle of the ear here and just kind of lightly dab this on. We don't want to go anything too intense, just enough to really define the face, bring your cheekbones up and make your cheeks look more full. And then once we have that on, we're going to take the powder brush with just a little bit of the excess powder that we used to set your face and really just kind of go back and forth and buff that out. That will soften everything and make it look a little bit more natural so you don't have such an intense shade. All right. Now that we've got that set on there, this is a round little contour brush. I like to take that same shade that we used, and we're just going to come down the sides of your nose here. Very light. We don't want to go anything too intense. This is just to kind of pinch that nose in and give it a more defined shape here. Like I said, nothing too intense. And again, we can go in with our same little technique here with that powder brush. And you can actually pinch on the bottom of the brush. This will help to kind of fan it out a little bit more. You don't have to do much, just to kind of veil that contour and make it look really airbrushed and flawless on there. Right, now that we've got the contour in, I'm going to go in with a nice little peachy shade here on a powder brush. And we're just going to lightly kind of buff that in with the contour. We'll add a little bit of color on there and it'll help kind of blend that more into the skin. And we can also take that up on the forehead to just kind of bronze up the forehead here. We don't want to go anything too intense, it's just enough to kind of bring a little bit of color into the face. Now we can go in with our contour here. Again, nothing too intense, just enough to add a little bit of extra color back into the face. And then I like to go in right after that with a angled blush brush and just a kind of pinky blush here. And we just want to very lightly right on the cheekbone here, just kind of dab that in. It's going to add some color, fullness to the cheeks, just right on the apples of your cheeks. And you kind of go in a little round motion here. It's just going to add a nice little pop of color and some. Perfect. Alright, now that we've got our face all set, I like to go in with just a nice little setting spray just after we do all of our powders. This kind of helps just to meld all of the powders with your foundation into your skin, and again give you that kind of flawless finish. So if you could just close your eyes here, and we're just going to do a light little spritz, nothing major. And that's just going to help to kind of meld all those powders in. And then right after that, I like to go in with a highlighter. And I'm taking just a little fluffy highlighting brush, and we're going to go in with the Aurora palette from ABH. And I like to use the shade Luna. It's like a silvery kind of reflective highlight. And we're just going to start right above where the contour and the blush is, and just kind of lightly feather that on. And that'll really highlight those cheekbones and give her a nice radiant glow. This is one of my favorite parts of the makeup routine. And I like to take just a little bit of it here, and we'll just highlight this Cupid's bow. And just the corner of her nose, just to kind of lift that up a little bit. And you are ready to go. And now that the face is done, we're going to move on to eyes. And I like to always start out here with a little bit of our translucent powder on just a little triangle here. And we're going to go just under the eyes. And this is also going to help to kind of accentuate the highlighting that we did earlier. It's also going to keep any of our eyeshadow from falling out onto the face. Now we're going to go with the Modern Renaissance palette from ABH. And I'm going to start off with Venetian Red and a flat packing brush. And we're just going to pack this all over the eyelid. Starting from the outer corner and moving our way in. We want to get this right up against the lash line. Just like so. And we really just want to pack that color in there, and we can blend it out right after. Now that we've got our color on, I like to take just a fluffy blending brush, and we're going to start right on the edges, and just in very soft circular motions, we're going to kind of buff out those edges and just work our way up into the crease of her eye. And now that we've kind of buffed that shade out, I'm going to now go in with that same little fluffy blending brush and go in with the shade Blonde Fresco. And it's just kind of a pinky purple shade. It's really light, and that will help us to kind of buff out and blend this eyeshadow into the crease. And again, we're just going to go in like circular motions here. Just blend upwards. And now we're just going to move on, and we're just going to do the exact same technique on the other side, starting with Venetian Red. I'm just packing that all over the lid. Again, we're just going to kind of round it out when we get to this outer corner here. Really get that color packed on. And then we're going to go back in again with our fluffy little blending brush here, just blend out all of our edges. And then again with Blonde Fresco, just work that up into the crease. Now that our eyeshadow's on, we're going to go back in with the Aurora palette in the same shade Luna and a little fluffy brush here. And we're going to go just under the eye, right at the arch here. And we're just going to highlight the brow, and that will help to give us a lifted arch to our brow. And you're going to blend that back and forth just underneath the arch and right into the eyeshadow here. That on both sides. And that just really defines the brow and really lifts that arch. So we're going to go in with our black gel liner now. We're just going to come along her eye here, starting at the inner corner, right across the lash line. And we just want to bring it right to the edge of the eye, right where her eyelashes stop. This is just going to help to really define the lash line and create a good base for us to put our lashes down. And then I want to take and just go a little past the inner corner here and bring it into kind of the bottom of her eye here. And this is just going to help to really elongate the eye and give it a really defined shape. I'm just going to do the exact same on the other eye here. I like to really just work in short movements that really keeps a lot of control so the eyeliner doesn't get away from us. And now we're going to go back in with Modern Renaissance palette and that same Venetian red shade that we used on the lid, and just with a little bullet brush here, we're just going to take right underneath her eye and just kind of connect it in with our shadow, and that's just going to bring that color in to the bottom of her eyes, and really is going to make her natural eye color just pop. I want to just keep it real close to the lash line. You don't want to come down too much, just enough to really add some color and dimension to her eyes. And we just want to kind of connect that with the little extension we used with the eyeliner here. And that will help to kind of really define that elongated shape. And now that we've done with that, we can go in with our powder brush and just brush away any of that excess powder we put underneath the eyes. Now we'll brush off any kind of fallout that we had from doing our eyeshadow as well. Now we're going to move on to mascara. And I'm just going to go in with a couple of these little disposable spoolies here. And I like to always take, and as I pull it out, I'm going to bend the mascara here. And this just helps us to put on the mascara without having to worry about getting it onto our eyeshadow. We're going to go up one more time, just on the bottom lashes here, so you can just look up for me. We don't have to do a lot, we just want to do some light motions on these bottom lashes just so we can kind of darken them up. Alright, now that our mascara is on, we're just going to go in with a real small kind of wispy lash here just to add a little bit more definition to her eyes. I'm just going to do a little bit of flash glue here right on the band. And we just want to line this right as close to her lashes as we can, right on that eyeliner that we put down. I like to make sure that the outside of the lash is lined up right with the outside of her lash line. I always like to just kind of take the back of my tweezers here and just kind of push up under them once we get them glued down. Just to make sure that they're lifted so they're not hanging down in her face at all and they're comfortable for her to wear. And our last step here is we're going to move on to lips. And I'm going to take this kind of burgundy shade from the Anastasia lip palette. Just got a little bit here and put it on a palette. I'll just take a little lip brush here. I always like to start with defining the lip, and I go from the outer corner here, and just kind of lightly line across her natural lips, and keep a bow here. I like to get our outline first, just so we know what we could do, and then go back in and fill it in here. Same on the bottom, just kind of outlining. All right, now that we have the lips outlined, just going to take and turn the brush here and just start filling in her lips. And I chose this kind of burgundy shade that just complements the eyeshadow that we did and her hair as well. Start filling on the top here. And this is how, using the Modern Renaissance palette and the Anastasia Brow Definer, we were able to create this great summer glam look. It's really wearable for day or for night, and really complimentary of her complexion and her hair color.